Okay, so our last example here is, again, a word problem. So you'll notice that that's kind of the trend that we're following in these lessons. We're going to look at just being able to use the formula, and then we're going to try and actually take that and apply it. So the bottom row in a trapezoid had 49 cans. Okay, so row number 1, 49. Each consecutive row, so that means right after it, one after another, okay, had 4 fewer cans than the previous. So my next one would be 45, 41, etc. There are 11 rows, so 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 11. How many cans are in the whole thing? Well, you could do this a couple ways. You could go ahead and figure out the number of cans in each row and then consecutively add them. Or we can use the shortcut that is our formula. But in order to use the formula, you need to be able to identify what information do you know. So I know term 1, my first row, is 49 cans. I know that my change is 4 for fewer, meaning I am losing cans. I want to go all the way up to 11. But I don't want to know how many cans are in the 11th row. I want to know how many cans made up the whole thing, including the 11th row. Well, that means that I'm talking about my series. So again, I look at what I'm given and I choose my equation appropriately. In this case, I'm going to choose the equation that does not include term n because I don't know how many cans are in row 11. 11 multiplied by 2 times 49 plus negative 4 times 11 minus 1, all divided by 2. And we're going to solve from there. We've got 11 times 98 minus 40 over 2, which gives me 11 times 58 over 2. These can simplify to give me 11 times 29. Finally, that gives me 319. So there are 319 cans in my trapezoid. So again, when you're dealing with a word problem, it is helpful to kind of give some context to that number, make sure it makes sense. So we go back and we say it's 319 cans. Well, that makes sense if we're adding what seems to be close to 50 11 times, then we should be getting in and around like at least a couple hundred for our first couple of rows. So that's kind of how that we can logic that out, make sure that our answer is within reason, and then we can feel confident when we put that box around it to say yes, there are 319 cans.